I'm here. Hi. How'd the interview go? Did you get what you wanted?
Well, I got what I could, but, I don't want to talk about that now. You said you were going to talk to me about something, so I came on as quickly as I could.
Okay, let's get right to it then. How would you feel about moving to Chicago?
What is it? What is it?
It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how hard I try or what I do to get myself together.
Oh, come on, wait a minute. What are you talking about? You've been doing great. Whatever's got you so upset, how bad can it be?
Bad enough. Bad enough.
Ah, the man of the hour. Come, have a glass of champagne. You've earned it.
No, thanks.
Your choice, of course.
Look, why don't we just get this over with, okay?
Get what over with?
The meeting in the docks was a bust. I was responsible. So,
That's right. You were responsible. And you handled it perfectly. The police were unable to pull off their little trap. The figurine remains available for another day, and I remain uncompromised. Your contacts inside the Landview Police are more of an asset
Listen
than
up,
I ever
Colonel.
possibly...
you think Andy Harrison is passing on inside information to me from the Lambview PD? You're wrong. Dead wrong.
Emilio, hey, going on?
Commission is kicking butt and taking names. He said to send you in next. Watch yourself, Harrison.
You want to see me? Chicago?
Yeah.
Andrew, go away to a retreat and come back talking.
I know. It came as a shock to me, too, Cass. Hear me out on this, okay? Now, while I'm in Chicago, Bishop of Illinois asks me out to lunch, and he tells me, oh, he's a nice man. He knew my father, West Point, knows Uncle John. He tells me about this parish, very diverse, very interesting community, always growing. They just need someone to move them into the next century, someone to help them be a spiritual and a social force in the community. Guess who he thinks is perfect for this job? Cassie, are you going to say anything, or aren't you?
I don't know what to say, Andrew. It's a wonderful opportunity, and I'm very proud of you.
But
But it's a big step, and it's so unexpected.
I know, honey, I know. It is. It's scary, you know. We're talking about a new place. We're talking about new friends, just a whole new world. But, honey, try to understand that opportunities like this, they don't come around very often in the church. And I don't know. I'm feeling like I need to really shake up my career.
Oh, you are forgetting something, aren't you? There are two careers in this family. Or maybe mine isn't as important as yours.
Yeah, Tad Martin, please. Kevin Buchanan. Hey, Tad, how you doing? Great, thanks. Hey, look, everything's set. Rachel and her whole family have all agreed to be on your show. Talk? Yeah, I think they'll talk. Look, once that emotional dam was down, they forgot about being public officials and being public personas, and they all became just an ordinary family with a story to tell. No, Tad, Trust me, your viewers on the cutting edge are gonna love these folks, especially Rachel. I am telling you, her courage is nothing short of inspirational.
Rachel, where did you get that?
I want you to get rid of it. Oh, God. I really want to.
Hey, but you didn't.
I couldn't. I remember when you made me look at myself in the mirror. When all I saw was just another junkie. I couldn't go back to that. I couldn't do that to myself. Or to you.
Rachel, you did it for yourself. I'm not the addict, and I'm definitely not part of the solution. Look at you, you're soaked to the bone. I'm gonna go get rid of this, and I'm gonna get you something dry to wear, okay? Okay, I flushed the stuff. Here, dry yourself off. Come on, put the robe on. Come on. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry. All I do is run to you with my problems. It's not cool, but you're the only one I trust.
Come on, I don't believe that.
It's true. You think you're alone. And then you really find out what alone means.
Just dry your hair, otherwise you're gonna get pneumonia here. This is about Kevin's interview, isn't it?
You don't understand. You don't understand.
Yes, I do understand. You knew what you were getting into, having to talk about all those personal things again.
It wasn't the interview. It was what happened after. My whole life, my whole world, is nothing but lies. Lies.
My arrangement with you is business. My relationship with Andy is personal. They don't mix, they never will.
I suppose you only got wind of the trap the police had set. No one tipped you off.
That's why you pay me, isn't it? To use my street instincts.
Yes. And the very fine instincts. With or without Detective Harrison.
If you're done,
Not yet. I have something for you. A gift. My way of saying thanks for saving the evening.
I don't want any gifts.
Oh. Don't turn it down until you see what it is. This one I think you might want.
know what this is about, Andy?
Well, I assume, I mean...
That stakeout was set. Everybody was ready. Then Carlo Hesser's deal, it just didn't go down. Why would he call it off? Unless
what?
Unless he was tipped off by someone from the inside.
Are you saying... You really think that there's a mole inside the department?
Only a handful of people even knew about that stakeout, and I have questioned each and every one of them. There's only one other person who knew about it, and that was the officer who refused to take part in the stakeout. So I have to ask you, Andy, you have any idea who the mole might be?
Of course I considered your career. In fact, I took the liberty to speak with an editor at the Chicago Tribune.
He is what?
You have no right to talk to anyone about my career.
Oh, honey, it's not like I spoke on your behalf. I talked to the man and made a contact, got some information, you know. It's going to help us make the decision. The bishop needs us to make a decision as soon as possible.
You know, I really don't care about the bishop's timetable, Andrew. This is my career and my life, and nobody makes that decision but me.
Nobody's trying.
Well, you don't have to try, Andrew. It comes naturally to you.
Excuse me?
What do you really want? It's for me to stay at home and play the rector's wife.
That's not fair, Cassie. That's not... From the beginning, I've wanted you to have an independent life in your own career. The only thing I have a problem with is working with Blair at the Sun. Which, by the way, if I recall, is something that you didn't even bother to discuss with me.
Andrew, that is different. It did not totally change your entire life.
Things have been tense between us, Cassie, since the moment you started working at the Sun. And, Cass, you know that's true. You know it. Great. This is just what we need.
I will get rid of whoever it is. Here's some
Mother, we have to talk.
Is it a good time?
I've got something I have to get off my chest that has been bothering me ever since I saw Andrew abusing you at the waterside.
Andrew.
He is a small, insecure man who can't stand being showered. Hello, Andrew. Back from Seattle?
Chicago. Nice to see you, too, Dorian. Unfortunately, we happen to be in the middle of a discussion, aren't we, Cassie?
Yes, Mother, Andrew just got home, and there's a lot to catch up on.
Of course, and the last thing you need is an interfering in-law. Fine. I'll just make a quick pot of coffee and then... Or not. Fine.
Mother,
No. I know my way out. Goodbye.
I don't believe it. Somebody inside the department deliberately feeding information to Carlo Hesser? What, have you told Internal Affairs?
No. Because this is my investigation. And this isn't just some collar to me. I want Carlo Hesser's head on a plate. I want that badly.
I understand that, Bo, and if I knew a way to help you...
Well, then maybe you can, because there's a question that has been nagging me since last night. An hour before the stakeout, I came to you. And I asked you if you would be on the team. You said no, which is fine. But then an hour later, just when we're about to spring the trap, all of a sudden, you show up at the docks. Why? What were you doing there, Andy? Is there something that you're not telling me?
I rest my case. You don't think it would be good for our marriage to get away from your mother's constant interference?
Andrew, she is still my mother wherever we go.
Unfortunately, that happens to be the truth. But you know something? Putting a few thousand miles between us so she can't show up at our doorstep every 5 minutes trying to stir up trouble would be a step in a positive direction. And Cassie, it's not just your mother. Oh, honey, it's everything. It's all the pressure we've been under lately.
And you really don't think there'll be any pressure in Chicago?
Of course there'll be pressure. I'm not talking about paradise on Michigan Avenue here, honey. I'm talking about new faces. I'm talking about just new experiences. It'd be wonderful. Don't you think it would be what we need, really?
Do you really believe that I am going to let you take my daughter to Chicago or any place else?
Is that better? So, why don't you tell me what happened after the interview?
I heard something. Something they didn't want me to hear.
Who's they? Bo and Nora, Hank, RJ?
All of them. All of them. All they did was just lie. Lie to me my whole life. And now...
What? What could this be? It can't be any worse than what you've been through.
Oh, no. What if I told you that, Nora Gannon, my perfect mother, cheated on my dad when they were married with good old Uncle RJ?
No, I wouldn't believe that.
Oh, well, baby, you better believe it. I didn't either. But it's true. I heard them arguing about it when you and Kevin left.
Did you ask them about this?
Are you kidding?
No, I mean, maybe you didn't get all the facts.
No, I got the one fact that matters, okay? Man, I'm telling you, this is saying so much. When I was little, okay, when my mom and dad broke up, they used to say that Uncle RJ was this evil criminal, you know. They would never let one word about him come to me. And then when I met him, he was so nice to me. But they didn't want me to have a relationship with him. No. You know, I really liked him.
He certainly loves you, that's for sure. But you know what? Something is not fitting here. When your mom and RJ had the affair, when did this happen?
The year before I was born. Mom and Dad were having problems, and Uncle RJ was there, and... Now you know why I'm so upset. How can I really be sure who my father is?
I told you, I don't want anything from you.
It's not for you. Catch.
Let me guess. The key to your heart.
I don't have one, remember? Do you recognize the artist?
Picasso.
Correct. And you know something? Even Picasso needed help. The university's fine arts department reserves a number of studios for select students, seniors primarily. Fortunately, I was able to talk to a friend of a friend and reserve one for a certain incoming freshman. That key opens the door. Your brother can move his paints and brushes in whenever he wants.
Chris can make it on his own talent, without help from you.
I might call that ingratitude. Your brother received a college scholarship with help from me.
That was part of our deal. So why don't you stick to it and forget about trying to buy my friendship?
When will you understand I am your friend? And I hope there comes a time
Back to
to...
business, Carlo. What's next?
If that's what you want. That business arrangement that fell through on the docks, I want you to set it up again. It means a great deal to me. And this time, you make sure it happens.
I told you everything, Bo. I begged out of the operation because I was afraid of Carlo Hesser, what he'd done to me and what he might do again.
Yeah, but you showed up at the docks just before the deal was supposed to go down.
Because I couldn't stay away. I was mad at myself for being afraid, so I grabbed my shield and my weapon. I went down to the docks to see if I could be of any help. I mean, it never even occurred to me that I might blow the stake out. And... Wait. Is that what happened? Did I scare off the target? I mean, God, if I'm responsible for something like that, Bo, I apologize.
I'm not looking for any apologies right now. I'm looking for facts. Let's go over how many people knew about the stakeout. Okay? There's you.
Right. Emilio.
Yeah.
The rest of the team, and, you have to give me names.
And Antonio. Right? I mean, you do talk to him, don't you? Isn't that what couples do? They do talk about things.
Yeah, sure, we talk, but not about...
Did you say anything to anyone, even inadvertently, that could have found its way back to Carlo Hesser?
Are you implying that Antonio and Carlo Hesser aren't exactly best friends, especially after what he did to me?
It's just a question, Andy.
I believe this. After all I've been through, you know, I'm just about losing my badge and my freedom over hiding the truth about Nick Manzo, that you would actually think that I would make the same mistake again?
I'm not accusing you of anything. If you tell me that you didn't say anything to Antonio, I'll believe you. But I have to ask the question. Did you?
I couldn't have told Antonio about the stakeout because between the time that you told me and that I showed up at the docks, I never even saw it. And besides, I told you Antonio hates Carlo Hesser.
Fine. I just needed to hear you say it. That still leaves us with a mole somewhere in this department. But don't worry, Andy, because we will get him. And Carlo Hesser will come tumbling after. So why don't you go home and get some rest? All right? I'd like to do the same, but I've got too much to do here.
So sharp you could cut yourself. How come Andy left you out alone looking so fine?
She's at headquarters. I need to get some air.
Well, there's plenty of it over here. I promise I won't spill any polish on your nice $500 suit. I'm no good at being polite. I'm best when I just stick my nose right in and ask what's wrong. So what's wrong, Antonio?
You ever feel like you're just losing yourself?
It's the suit, isn't it? You worried you're selling out? Don't sweat, Antonio. You're still a leon, even with a good job, nice clothes, and a Blanca girlfriend. Hey, the lady's got a lot of things I wish she didn't have. But who says life is fair, huh? Antonio, you're a leader. People look up to you. I mean, even if you're moving up in the world, that's not gonna change. Your real friends admire you for it. You don't believe me?
That's not it. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm not selling out my friends in Angel Square. Maybe somehow I'm selling out myself.
Don't even start with that.
How can I help it? Okay, how can I really be sure?
Stop it. Just because the two of them had an affair doesn't mean Hank's not your father. Just forget whatever they said.
Forget what... forget it, could you?
Well,
Of course not. No, okay? I will never forget it.
well, what, are you gonna let it eat away at you? Don't let it eat away at you. Go to Nora and talk to her about
I
it.
can't. Nora keeps lied to me all these
She
years.
didn't lie. She didn't tell you everything.
Oh, well, it's the same thing. Look, Drew, until I figure things out, okay? You're gonna promise me that you won't tell Bo or my mom. No one, okay?
Rachel, if they knew you'd overheard them, they'd want to explain.
You gotta promise me, okay? No one! Don't tell anyone, okay?
Tell anyone about what?
Pretending to leave, and then sneaking back in here to spy on a private conversation. Mother, don't you have any pride?
Not when this man is trying to ruin your
All
life.
right, that's it. That's it. You know, I've never thrown anyone out of this house physically, but by God, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now,
Mother, I
Dorian.
want you to leave.
All right. I will leave because you want me to. The last thing that I want is for you to be upset.
Dude, upset? Dorian, you have not even begun to see upset.
I have put up with your holier-than-thou attitude ever since you married my daughter.
Mother, goodbye.
Get her out of here.
If
I
you
mean
think
it.
there's any way in heaven or hell that I'm going to let you take my daughter
out of
and
here.
grandson halfway across the...
Get out!
Call next time, Mother, please.
Next time
So,
could be too late. Next time you could be living who knows... Fine, I'm going. But this is not over.
Are you gonna still tell me that it wouldn't be a good idea to get away from her? Get away from the sun, get away from just, get away from everything.
Andrew, why don't you tell me what you're really thinking?
You don't want to run away from the sun or my mother or anything else. It's Kevin. That is why we argued at the waterside, and that is why you want to start over and move to Chicago. It's not about starting over, Andrew. It's not about serving God. It's about this stupid jealousy you have suddenly got for Kevin Buchanan. Isn't it?
Okay. You want to go down that road? Fine, we'll go down the road if that's where you want to take us. Yes, I am very troubled by the involvement you've had with Kevin the past few months.
Wait a minute. Involvement?
Yes, involved. What would you call it?
Business.
Business.
Professional rivalry, Andrew. We compete for the same stories, and that brings out the best in
That
both
brings
of us.
out the worst in both
Yes,
of you.
sometimes it brings out the worst, too. But is that any reason for us to pack up and move to Chicago? You don't think this is any threat to our marriage, do you? Andrew.
What do you want me to say, Cass? What do you want me to say? You don't think I've known for a while that this thing between you and Kevin is a little bit more than a professional rivalry? You don't think I knew that? But I thought that the feelings mainly came from him. I really didn't think that the feelings came.
They don't.
Marriage is a very fragile thing. I have seen a lot of marriages shattered in this parish. Good marriages. And I'm not so proud and arrogant to think that it couldn't happen to us.
Almost happened to us, Andrew. But not because of me.
Okay.
But did I suggest that we pack up and move when you and Marty had your little
fight a few years ago? But you know something? Maybe you're a little stronger than I am. Maybe you are. But maybe, just maybe you need to learn that the collar doesn't make me superhuman. You and River are my life. And the thought of losing you to Kevin, losing you to anyone,
Andrew, look at me. You are not going to lose me. I love you, and I love this life that we've created. But do we really have to move?
David?
You know, when I was in prison, they tried their best to make me feel like an animal. But even then, I knew who I was. But now it's,
Jeez. A suit and a job can do that? Listen, Tonio. A year ago, I was a loser. A party girl, delivering drugs for Javier. But look at me now. I work for the 5-0s. I don't run from them. I mean, at first I thought, what is this? Linda Soto goes legit. Get real. But Bo Buchanan believed in me. He gave me the chance. And you know something? He was right. I'm still the same person I thought I was, even when I was doing wrong. And you know something? If I stick with it and become a 5-0 myself, don't laugh, I just might.
I'm not laughing, Linda.
Now, the point is that even if I wear a uniform, I'll still paint my toenails Ferrari red.
Great color.
It's me. Just like you're you. Even in that suit. We all do what we have to survive. But that's not who we are. Who we are never changes.
You're a smart girl, aren't you?
Yeah, for a party girl, you mean.
And you're not a party girl. And you'll make a hell of a cop, and that's what you really want.
Thanks. But after what went down today, I'm not so sure that's what I want.
Today?
Andy didn't tell you.
No, I haven't seen Andy since breakfast. What happened?
Bo Buchanan's been tearing up the station looking for a chipmunk. I mean, a mole. I knew it was some little animal.
You mean...
A spy. Somebody's been passing inside information to Carlo Hesser.
Well, has Bo found the guy?
Yeah, better ask Andy. She was still in his office when I left. And you won't even have to wait till you get home. It's true what they say. You live together long enough, you start to look like each other. She's almost as bad as you are. Take it easy, Sonia.
Are you okay?
Well, I could lie and say yes. I'm getting real good at lying. No. I'm not okay.
No, I don't think we have to go to Chicago to save the marriage. But I do think that it might be a great thing for us. I really do, for both of us. But only if you feel the same way.
Andrew,
And if you thought I overstepped my bounds when I went and talked to that editor, then fair enough. I'm sorry. I was trying to show you that I do think that your job's as important as mine is. And that's the reason that I told the bishop that I wasn't going to make any decision overnight. I wasn't going to make a decision until I talked it over with my wife.
you told him that.
Of course, honey, of course I told him that. And I'm not going to pressure you about this if you don't want me to.
Guess I'm not the wife you were hoping for, huh? Sorry I disappointed you.
Disappointed me. Cassie, I love you. Don't you know how much I love you? Don't you know that I wouldn't change one thing about you? I wouldn't change a single wonderful, frustrating, unpredictable thing. Not one. I would change one thing. I would change your mother. That I would change. I'm asking you to consider just one new possibility.
Of course I will. No, I don't want to get in the way of you and your dreams. And maybe the bishop can wait just a few days.
I think he's going to have to. I love you. Did I tell you that I loved you?
Well, you know, some things bear repeating.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
No, me too.
guys know that it's not polite to keep secrets from your roommate?
And don't you know that it's not polite to sneak up on your roommate and ask a lot of questions?
Oh, you mean like, how come Rachel's soaking wet and wearing your robe? Fine. Don't tell me. I'll be the same way with my big news. All right, you twisted my arm, I gotta tell you. I just talked to Tad Martin. He is so excited to have you and the family on the show.
Well, I'm glad that he's excited. But listen, I've been thinking about
Oh,
this
no, no,
thing.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Rachel. He is not trying to talk you out of this now, is he? Rach, going on the cutting edge is a good thing. We talked about this. You're still game, aren't you?
I'm just not sure anymore.
Okay. Come here, sit down for a minute. Look. The Cutting Edge is an award-winning show. Tad Martin is no tabloid sleaze. He's very highly respected. Now, you told me you wanted to do my interview to reach other people, to help others in a crisis, right? Well, it's going to do that. But now is your chance to tap into an even bigger audience, an audience 10 times the size that of the Banner.
Yeah, and all she has to do is bare her soul in front of the camera. It's not worth it, Kevin.
I think that's a decision for Rachel to make. Rich, whatever you want to do is fine. So what do you say?
I say it's a great idea.
It's my girl. It's the Rachel I know. Super. Okay, I'm going to fax Tad a couple of extra questions that he should ask you, and we'll be on our way. You will not regret this, I promise.
Andy, what happened?
Something that I swore I'd never do again. I lied to Bo.
About last night?
Yeah. He knows that the stakeout was compromised and is looking for the man or woman who leaked it.
He thought it was...
Yeah. I did my best to convince him that it wasn't me.
Well, did he believe you?
I think so. I hope so.
Looks like we're about to find out.
Good evening.
Hey.
Commissioner, we don't see you down here lately.
No, I've been pretty busy. Andy's probably told you about that.
We don't talk about work.
All right.
I do have to talk to her about something, though. Could you give us just a minute here?
Sure. There's the ice cream truck. Can I get you something?
Oh, no, thanks. Something's come up, and I need you on surveillance tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
No problem. What's the target?
I'll tell you all about it in the briefing, okay? Just, I want you there. I need my best people on this end.
I'll be there.
Good night.
Yeah, good night.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, he wanted to ask me about an assignment.
Worried about nothing. He did believe you.
Yeah,